A 14-year-old middle school student is in trouble for stealing her grandmother's money and passing it out to her classmates. So the little girl broke into her grandmother's safe with a screwdriver, and she stole over $10,000. And then she passed it out to students in increments of $200, $400, and $700. Let me tell y'all something. When I read this story, I said, it could be money in my grandmother's purse right now in front of me, and the fear, that's my grandmother, that's my other grandmother. Both my grandmothers. Let me tell you something. I'm telling you, it could be money in their purse right now in front of me. It could be a sign on the money going, Sherri, take this. And the fear of God would still make me not take money from my grandmother. I am telling you, that's Mary in the yellow, my grandmother Mary, and that's Maxine in the blue, and both of them don't play. But I'm telling you, like, I think with these kids today, the fear of God is missing from these kids. Because I would have never thought, I would have thought that was a booby trap. Literally, all of that money. I would have thought if there was money in front of me that my grandmothers was putting it there to test me. That's what it is. Because I remember both my grandmothers, I come from, the breast is from my grandmothers, and they would keep money in their breasts. Like literally, my grandmother Mary in the yellow, she kept money everywhere. She kept money under the couch, under the mattress, in the cookie jar, everywhere. Everywhere but the bank. And then... And literally, God bless her soul, when my grandmother Mary passed away, we found money. It was just money under the carpet, money. It was $100 here. It was $26 there. It was behind the refrigerator. I think the people who bought my grandmother's house are still finding money. I'm telling you.
Sherri, what's with these grandmothers hiding stuff in the house? You remember when Aretha Franklin passed?
Yeah.
They found a wheel under her couch with barbecue sauce on. The audience remembers that. Yeah, like what is with the grandmothers not putting stuff in the bank?
I don't know why grandmothers, I think it was being in the war and they didn't trust the banks or whatever, and they would just hide stuff. I think that's what it was, John, because I just was too scared I would never think to take anything from my grandmother. And I remember one time my grandmother she would keep it in a baggie, some of her money, and I took a little baggie from her purse. It was $1. And we lived in Chicago, so they had like these little corner stores that you could go to in the backyard. And I went and bought those cookies with the strawberry frosting on the cookie. And I'm sitting there eating my cookie, and all of a sudden my grandmother appeared out of nowhere. And she was standing behind me, and she said, "Where you get that money?" Literally, like a ghost. But these kids today, the fact that they don't have to fear God, and I just think sometimes you gotta let these kids know you a little crazy, so they don't think about doing that stuff. Because I remember James Avery, who played Uncle Phil on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he told me one time, and he also played my dad on my sitcom Sherri, he told me one time that the fear of God when they're little turns into respect when they're older. That's what he said. And literally, I'm thinking, oh my God, if you rob your grandmama, what's next? But here's the thing about this little girl that opened up a safe. The fact that her grandmama got the money in the safe, that opened up the safe. Either this little girl's going to be brilliant and successful, or she gonna be the next Anna Delvey. I'm telling you. That's the one in the Netflix show. This is the girl who scammed everybody out of millions of dollars. I feel for the little girl.
What does she talk like, Sherri?
Anna Delvey talks like this. What? It didn't go through. Do you know who my father is? Check it again. Run the credit card again. That's how she talks. But the little girl, John, I feel for her because I feel like her self-esteem has got to be very low for her to have to, feel like she has to buy her friends off. And here's the thing, they only recovered $700 out of the 8 or 10, because they said they ain't gonna get that money back. Because when you give somebody $700, them kids probably didn't even tell their parents they got the money from the little girl. And grandmama, I know that this is not gonna make you feel any better, but you gotta look at the brilliance of your granddaughter. This girl divided it up into 200, 400, 700. She knows math. If you can, this girl knows math. And something like this, like, I don't believe that the little girl should go to jail, file charges. I think if you can channel this energy away from the theft, if she, make that girl do community service and see people who don't have money. Make her work it off so she can appreciate. But don't send her to jail. Don't have them press charges. And Grandma, let me tell you, the best place to keep your money, it wouldn't have gotten stolen if you kept it in your bra. Because let me tell you something. I learned this, John, from both my grandmothers. If you keep that money and she'd have never touched it. If I lift up my right boob right now, 67 cents will fall out. Because this is why I keep all my money. I tell you, I am the money holder when my girlfriends and I, we go to the club. It's all up under here, I forget.